All right, I'm going to open up the folder from an SD drive, SD card that somebody used yesterday. You plug your SD drive into the thing at the bottom of your computer that sort of looks like this, but it's not, it's a little fatter. And this one doesn't even have a place for an SD card, but yours is fatter. There's only one way it can go, okay? Don't force it. Turn it the other way if it won't go. So you should have pop up on your screen one that says Canon, hopefully, right? It may not be the same thing, but when you plug it in, something will pop up, and that's the SD card. If I double click it, I can look inside and look at the files in there. Now, right now, most of these should have been formatted yesterday, so there shouldn't be a whole heck of a lot on there. If I click DCIM, which yours may look different if you've got this selected or this selected or this selected, it just changes the views however you want to look at it with a generic number that the camcorder will assign for the folder, okay? If it may be the same folder for all day yesterday, so your files might be in the same folder as somebody else's, and it looks like that's the case here. I opened it up. I've got 2, 4, 6, 8 times 3 is 24, and 7 more is 31. If 2 people did 8 classes, there would only be 16. So it looks like the fact that everybody's is in the same folder. So you're going to need to come through here and find out which ones are yours. I think you can make these icons bigger. There's Emmeline. Okay, that last one there. So I know 0060 is hers, 62, 64, and her partner's is in there as well. Not sure what's going on there. Still the same people. Okay, so your job is just to come through and find which videos are yours and ignore the rest of them. Let me double click this one. Yeah, that's the same group. Let me double click this one. Same group. Oh my gosh, how many videos did y'all get? Oh my gosh, all of these are gonna be the same people. Acting like nerds. Sorry. So I'm glad I used these people as an example because that's Emmeline right there. I can almost tell. Yep, they got way too many videos. All right, so yours might or might not be on the same folder or in the same folder as somebody else's. Regardless, these two are going to have to select all of their videos, okay? You click somewhere where there is some blank space, and then you drag and highlight all of them. Okay, where are you going to drag them to? Hopefully, you're going to find your folder in a user's folder right here. So if I click that user's folder, I am not going to be able to get in there, okay? Yours is going to look different. They haven't set my computer up yet. But there should be a list of every AV student's folders in this user's folder. You double click yours, and I want you to drag all of your folders, or I'm sorry, all of your files into there. So I'm just going to name this new folder example, and then I'm going to click all of them, click one of them, and drag all of them over to that folder. Okay, these are short clips, so it should not take a very long time. And the fact that these cards read and write pretty quickly, it should not take a heck of a long time, less than a minute, I'm sure. So after Emmeline or whoever, one of you copies your stuff over there, Maddie can grab the SD card from her, and she can copy all of them over to a folder on her drive. So it doesn't matter if you have your partner's videos. Once you get them on your computer, you can then delete them. It's not too big of a deal. When you eject a SD card from that little dongle thing that you plugged it into, you need to do it like this. You need to come over here where it says Canon, right click, and choose Eject Canon. Okay, I'm sure that folder will probably close. The disk Canon was ejected. So then you pull that card out. Okay, it doesn't physically eject the card. It allows you to pull the card out without screwing up the files. And this is extremely important. And it's more important on these Macs than it was on the old PCs, because there's stuff going on in the background where it might be accessing this file or this folder. And if you just jerk that thing out of there, then you're going to lose. You could corrupt files. You could end up messing stuff up. Okay. So I now have all of those files on my computer. Okay. This is on the network. Don't worry about exactly where it is right now. But now you have all of those files together. Okay. That's part one. Part two, let's open up Adobe Premiere. In Adobe Premiere, you're going to start a new project, okay, up here in the top left. When I click New Project, I'm going to name this Class. I always like to capitalize. Class Schedule. And my location, I'm going to change that to Choose Location. And I'm going to go find where this folder is. Okay, so I'm going to had to restart this. So I'm going to go back to Premiere. I eventually found where mine is, and I hope that you can find yours a little easier. If not, that's okay. We can work around that and put it in a different place. Class Schedule. In my location, I'm going to go to Choose Location. And mine is a little different. I have to click these double arrows and go to Users. Nope. I'm going to go to Systems iMac, then Users, then see Yoder, and then there's that example folder. Okay. That's where I want to select. That's where I want this Premiere Pro file to be saved. So I'm going to click Create. Location unavailable. It says select media to import. Ignore that. I'm not going to do that yet. There's different ways you can start a Premiere Pro project with videos. I'm going to show you the easiest way possible. I'm going to skip that. Okay. So now I've got my interface, right? I'm going to first go to Window, Workspaces. I'm going to make sure editing is saved. Okay. I'm going to adjust my windows a little bit just because I like my things to be in a certain place. You can adjust these windows and tabs as you want to. Then I'm going to open the folder where those files are, where I dropped them just now. Okay. Everything except that class schedule. That class schedule just saved where I just told Premiere to save it. Okay. I've got all those files selected. I'm going to drag them. You can either drag them here, drop them here and there, and where it says drop media here, or you could drag them into your, let me maximize this so we can see what's going on, into your project bin. Okay, all of those files are all over there now. So, sorry, Emmeline, you get to be the person that we use as an example. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's very quiet, Maddie. If I turn up my volume, it'll be better. Okay, so your job now is to take these files. I'm going to drag this handle right here so I can make my video clips bigger. Okay, so if I am Emmeline, I'm going to use my down arrow and go to each clip. Once I get to the clip where it is not me, I'm going to right click, and there's a couple of different ways. I would ripple delete, okay? What ripple delete does is it deletes that video and moves all of the other clips closer to where there is no gap. If I just hit clear, there's a gap there. So if I went and pressed play after Emmeline is done cheesing, then I would have a blank space until this next clip picks up. Okay, so here is Maddie again. I'm going to hold down Command Delete. Nope, don't do that. Hold down Option Delete. Yes. Option Delete is Ripple Delete. That is the shortcut to Ripple Delete. You can right click in this space as well and choose Ripple Delete. Down arrow just goes from one clip to the next. Up arrow goes backwards a clip. I'm not sure who they're recording here. Nothing important. So I am going to Option Delete. That's not Emmeline. Option Delete. This looks like some construction or something. Maybe they hit record on accident. Whatever. Option Delete. She's showing where her basketball is. Basketball again. Don't want her. Maddie wants her, but Emmeline doesn't need it. Just walking. There's a clip we don't need. That's why we have so many clips, because we're just recording to record. That's all right. That's one way you learn, guys, is you experiment. I'm perfectly fine with that, as long as you don't do anything dumb. Don't need that one. Don't need that one. Don't need that one. So I'm going to Option Delete all of those. This is a very short clip, so I'm going to come in here and grab and hold. Sorry, somebody's at my front door. Drag, click and drag, click, hold, and drag, so I can make my timeline wider so I can get in here and see a little better what we're recording, which is absolutely nothing. Option Delete to Ripple Delete. Nothing here either. Y'all got a lot of... Oh my gosh, y'all are going to have to fast forward this. She's on there, and that's not Emmeline. And that's not important. That's not important, I don't think. Okay, there's another one. Okay, so you can select more than one clip at a time by click and dragging and selecting like that. Option Delete. Goodness gracious. They were a little late coming back, so I'm not sure if they got every one of them. I'm going to go back to the very beginning. Let's look at this short one. No? Okay, they were just testing that out in class, so we know that's not a schedule. So I'm going to delete that one.
Oh, yes!
Sorry, that's really loud. Again, they were just testing. Option Delete. So it looks like I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 clips. 6th period. Third period. 5th. So I'm going to grab these, pull them down a little bit. This one was 6th. This, careful. I'm going to hit Command Z to undo. Be careful you don't drag clips on top of each other. It's better to go past and Ripple Delete to get them close together than it is to overlap. This is 3. This is 5. This is 6. Cross country is 0 period. So we're going to have to create some room. I did not require her to do that, but she did it anyway. She goes all the way to the beginning. 0, 3, 5, 6. Eighth period volleyball. 0, 3, 5, 6, 8. 0, 3, 5, 6, 8. Second. 0, 3. So this will go here. If there's not enough room, you see right there, it will overlap. Okay, we don't want that. So we need to create some more room. Drag this clip a little further down and then drag that one so that it matches up. You see how my clips are snapping, right? Watch. As soon as I get close to this, it snaps. If your magnet right here says snap in timeline, if it looks like that where it's dark, then it won't snap. I promise that will help you out if you'll select that one. I think I skipped this one. Fourth. I've already forgotten where we are. That's fifth period. So that we know goes in front. That sounds like they forgot one.
This is my first period.
First period.
This is my second period.
Second period. So it looks like the only class they forgot was the best one that they take, which is my class. Right click, ripple, delete. We know they got first and second.
This is my
Third period. Oh, what's happening? 0, 1, 2.
This is my
Third.
This is my
Fourth.
This is my fifth period.
Fifth.
This is my sixth period.
Sixth period, and then eighth. So that's exactly what they did, or at least she did. They were late because they took their time and got video in the library and stuff like that. Anyway, they missed a class. No big deal. If you miss a class, just put together what you've done. All right. Don't go get the camera out. The substitute's not going to let you leave class. So just put together what you can. Okay. Ripple delete. Now you've got 6. She's got 8, even though she forgot my class because she has 0 hour. You have these clips together right now, right? That's the main purpose of this 45-minute class today, is for you to learn how to get the SD card into your dongle adapter, okay? And get them from the adapter to your computer, open up a new Premiere file, drag your clips into Premiere, drag them onto this timeline, and get them in order, okay? You might have more time to do more things today, but that's where I'm going to stop for Tuesday, okay? Wednesday, we'll come back and do some other things. So whatever you do, don't jack around too much with what you've got going on. If you have extra time and you want to play, here's what I would encourage you to do. I would select every play experiment, right? I would select all of the clips, and I'm going to hold down a key that I don't know for sure on the Mac, but I'm going to test it as Control, click, drag. That did not work. I'm going to try Command, click, drag. That's not what I wanted. Command Z is undo. Option. Hold down Option, click, drag, boom. Okay, that's what it was. I made an exact copy of all 8 clips, and they're just down here. So if you want to mess around with some clips and, experiment with some things, feel free to do so. But do them on these extra clips so that we can come back on Wednesday and actually work on these, getting them together, and doing what our next part of the project is. Hit me up on Google Classroom with any questions, and I'll record more if I feel like I forgot something. Good luck.